Hello and welcome to GM Talks. Today it's gonna be a very personal video for me. It's featuring a long game. It's very instructive. You will definitely learn something about chess, and it's also nostalgic for me because it's the last real game I will ever play in the German Bundesliga. I played in the Bundesliga since 1998. That is 25 years, and after this game I decided that I no longer belong there. Both because it's very impractical to go to Germany when you are very busy, but also because, to be honest, at the age of 52, I'm not sure I am strengthening the team of Hamburg where I played. I feel a little bit sad about it because it's been like Hamburg's been like a second home for 25 years, and nice to have another place where you feel welcome in the world. But everything has his time, and this one is it. It's a very painful game, so brace yourself and let's dig into it. You will also learn some opening theory in the Spanish opening. There are some rook ending things you will get from this game, and some nice tactical features about how to attack the king and so on. So it is, as I'm sure this is a good game to learn from, and of course it's a painful game to show. I'm playing against the Serbian grandmaster Aleksander Kovacevic, and to be honest, I think in general I should be a better player than him. He's got 2471, and I used to be 2570 all the time, and now I'm approaching 2500, a little bit too fast. So I'm basically hoping it will stop the bleeding at some point, or maybe I'm just too old and I know what I need to do. I need to look a lot at chess, look really serious at chess, and I don't have the time. So that's the problem. And it's, to be honest, the other things I'm doing are more important than chess. So it's probably not going to happen. Anyway, this is the Spanish opening. I'm black, and d6 is very interesting. It's I played this a few times before. It's an interesting opening for in the Spanish. On c3 you can actually also go for the Fiesta racing with f5. I have also tried that, and I also won a game against Timan with white in that variation. The main moves for white is c3, castle, and c4 and d4. The bad news for black is that if white wants a draw, he can play d4 and it will be a forced draw, unless black decides to take chances. Here, this is all well known. Here is this famous Noah's trap, where you go like this, attacking, check, here, and winning the bishop on b3. A very nice little track. Unfortunately, instead of queen d4, white can play c3 here. In a game against Thomas Oxner, Bjørn Møller Oxner, I really wanted to win, so I played d3. It was a draw eventually. I was maybe better at some point, but it's very dangerous. You have to be careful to play that. The main move is to do this, but then there is no c5, so you will give check. You have to go here and here, and this is a draw. I think it's too dangerous to try to avoid the draw. The king will be in trouble. So that's the downside. c3. I saw that in a game, and bishop d7 here. In a game there was castle and g5, which is very interesting. But I can also castle first. It's all a matter of taste. d4 is the main move here. By the way, if you like weird stuff, then f5, the siesta variation, is not a bad line. But bishop d7 is the solid move, and d4 g6. You can also here in this position play this variation. It's not so bad. You will follow up with knight g6 and h6 and bishop e7 and so on, and bishop g5 at some point, exchanging the bad bishop. So it's not a bad line. Here he played bishop g5, and I was prepared for this. This has been played in a lot of blitz games between Vasiliev and Caruana, and the main move is f6, and but it looks a little bit dodgy. But I've realized that you can also play this and just develop normally in the Spanish, and you will in most lines you'll be able to castle, play rook e8 and bishop f8, and sometimes the bishop is actually better on f8 than g7. Anyway, bishop h6. I've never seen this move before. The computer think you can take on e5, e4, but I didn't feel like it. So, and this is a normal position where usually my bishop would be here. It would be better, but white has also spent some tempi here and back here. The question is d5 good? I don't think so, but it is interesting. Bishop c2 is also a normal move. h5 is actually the recommended plan. Black's plan here is to sort of kill this bishop. So I want to play a4, and then I want to play b5 and knight a5 and c5, and thereby achieving a very improved Chigorin setup. So that's the plan. So a5 is a nice little move. If he goes a4, then I can take this one, and he will lose the control over the b4 square, which is annoying for him. So a3, also the natural move. a4. And my plan is basically the normal move would be something like this, maybe something like this, and here, and we have a position like this, which is it's interesting. It's not bad, not good for anybody. I think it's just in balance. I thought I would be the better player in this position, so I thought it was good. But d5 is interesting. Actually, and the thing is, this pawn has gone sailing away a little bit, and I got nervous here, and I played a bad move, the wrong plan simply, and that's kind of a sign of old age, because I used to not. Sometimes I choose the wrong plan, but in general, choosing the right plan, knowing what to do is my main strength. And here, the main move should be this move, knight b8. Because in general you want to keep contact with this square here on c5. This is where, and then after c4, very important move is bishop h6. What I didn't see was after this move and take here, I was a little bit afraid of the dark squares, but it's nothing serious. I can get my queen back. But after this, I have time for this, and I'm in time to cover the a pawn. And this position is, I'm actually threatening this move. So this position is already fine for black. Nothing, no problem here. It's maybe even slightly better for black. You have the good bishop, you have some attacking chances sometimes, and white really have to stretch himself to get an attack going. So this, but instead I played this move, and he played c4, and I realized, now the knight is in the King's Indian you go there, but actually the knight is always very clumsy there. So this was the idea, but it's a bad idea, and I thought, okay, I'm here, but it's short-sighted, and the knight is clumsy on b6, so that was not smart. And b3 c5 is more or less forced. So to not be threatened all the time with bishop e3 and losing a pawn on a4. And here this setup is a little bit weird, but it's very much like a King's Indian. So it's natural to play this move in this situation. This is often how you get counterplay in the King's Indian. Of course, I cannot play f5 immediately. I need to prepare it, but I'm ready to get in here with the knight and the bishop here, and often if he takes, I will have some dark square comes up. That was not correct. This is the correct diagonal, and you can even follow up with a3. So this is interesting. Bishop e3, bishop d7, all natural. Rook b1, good move, getting out of the sort of the flame, the fire from the bishop, and I start going here, and this is also well known. Basically, he's planning king h2 and d3. And I decided, okay, the knight is not very good on b6, so I'm going down here. Even though he has, of course, has some sort of advantage on the queen side, I can dig in with b6 and the knight will cover everything. So it will take him a lot of time to break me down on the queen side. So I thought I would have decent chances to get something going on the king side. King h2, very natural move. Here I thought I found a good move, h6. Sometimes I want to go g5. The thing with g5 is, of course, it weakens the white squares here, making it worrying that white might put a knight there someday, and you will sit there with bad bishop down here, buried in the sand. And this is interesting. Knight d2, I didn't get that move. That was a weird move, I thought. But okay, it's a well-known setup. It's when you have this setup with white, with two bishops here, and the knight here and here, you're sort of very solid. It's very difficult for black to do anything on the queen side. But I had a plan, because there are some white squares, and this, I don't think you've seen this. Then came g4. And that was a little bit surprising because of this. That there's also some dark squares, but the moment the bishop here is threatening here, so no big deal. King h8. I'm not sure that's the best move. Maybe it's definitely not the best move. Rook g1, but it looked okay after this move. I thought was very smart. And here he started to use a lot of time, and it's actually not so easy to play for white. I'm threatening to go here and exchange this bishop, which would be annoying for him, because then I will have the good bishop and some chances. So he took the pawn, thereby trapping his rook. And if I have time here, I'll either go something like this, trapping the bishop, or this move here. So he more or less is forced to do this, but it does. It does give away some. There are some holes here in white's position, and the king is not very comfortable here. My king is not comfortable either, but I was getting sort of, I think, optimistic here. The knight is coming to some dark squares and take, and he went back. I think he had to do that, and this move is bad. It looked no. This move is very bad actually. As it turned out, but it's very interesting position, and it from a position that looked a little bit dubious on my part, then it's turned into totally unclear. And after this move, it starts to go really bad for white. This is, by the way, something you should always try to create holes. What I'm doing is also I'm trying to get this king exposed. And now this pawn is weak, and it's not easy to get that king over there, which he really like to do, because between that there is a rook here. He now played a interesting move, rook h1, saying, okay, I got a king too. If he does not do anything, then he will just be slaughtered on the king side. So it was probably smart. This might be the best move, and this is definitely a good move. f6. Problem is, we spent a lot of time playing these moves, so we were all short on time. And here he played this move, and I made a horrible move here. I played on this was move 40, and I had, I think, a little bit more than a minute left, which is also the problem when you're old and not playing enough. You get very rusty, and I couldn't find out. Should I take on d5? Should I not take on d5? What should I do? And the thing is, if I do something like this, then black is more or less busted. White is more or less busted. It's really dangerous. The king just can't get out, and I'm just gonna I think I don't even know what the best line is, but he's in very serious trouble here. The computer says +7 for black, so it's more or less a winning attack. My king is relatively safe, and his king here is busted. So this would just have been, and there were many more moves. I played this move, which was allowing him to exchange this knight, which I should not have allowed. And that's the thing is, probably if I had 5 minutes, I could realize, okay, I need to keep my knight on the h file just to keep the king safe. I thought, okay, I have the h pawn and it's very well protected with the knight and the bishop, but the problem is they are in the way of the attack. So after this, it's already it's very unclear already. And he's of course still have some problem with the king here. I was still optimistic. But it's not so simple anymore here. And rook d2 was probably a mistake. h3 is probably good. And I was still very optimistic here. And knight f4, and I said, oh yeah, I'm having a good time here. But he's managed somehow to seal the king, and it's not easy anymore. So too bad this didn't turn out as it should be, and I thought I still was sort of optimistic here, but I was starting to worry a little bit. The problem is we were leading at this point, so he had to win because it was the last game. And that's also why. And here I made a horrible mistake. I did see that he had one threat. That was queen a5, so I was thinking about b6, but I said, I don't need to play that because I will have something on the king side at some point. But there is nothing on the king side. I thought here that he was very lucky that this didn't work because I thought this was very smart. Like this was the line I had calculated some moments back and winning. The problem is that here after knight takes, he takes back. And the queen is still trapped. That was very unfortunate. I think he got lucky there, actually, to be honest, but I can't prove it. Anyway, I played this move because I got confused. Was also already running short of time. It's very difficult to play. And then came queen a5, and suddenly I realized there's no attack on the king side. There's nothing there. I can't do anything. I cannot even threaten anything. He's totally safe in this situation. Very, very unfortunate. I played this move, just total panic now, and here I panicked completely and played this move, and now it's just totally winning for him after bishop d4. And I was just, no, not the last game in the Bundesliga, or no, don't do this to yourself, Sune. But this is what happened. And of course, he exchanged everything. There he won a pawn. The other problem is that all my pawns are weak, so I'm having some serious trouble here. Getting the king in, having to, and this is a rule of thumb. Whenever you have this kind of situation, you simply have to go for activity. There's nothing else to do. Even how scary it looks that he gets more pawns, doesn't matter. You really have to go for it. It looks very bad. Because after this move, this one falls as well, but it's not so simple. So here I'm only a pawn down, and of course he's got connected passed pawns here. Is probably winning. So like this. But you can fight, and there are some issues with the king. So I was fighting on rook c2. King f3, c4. I thought that was smart to get this going. King f5, taking away the e4 square for the king. So I will shoulder barge it with the rook here. e6, also good, and check. And here he made a huge mistake, actually throwing away the win. That is a little bit surprising, right? He played this move, and he had to, and it looks very counterintuitive. He had to go here just to get the king out of the way, because the rook can actually finish this by itself. First of all, he's threatening this move, and after something like this, he's again threatening this move, and you have to do something, and he will give a check, and the pawn will roll, and it's winning. The problem is that the counterplay here will just be met by king d3, so nothing to see there. So that's just winning king d2. He didn't play king d2. He played king e2, and I played King F6, and now it's not so simple because the pawns are blocked. And here I made a mistake. The easy draw is this move. You'll probably have to go here, and this is just an easy draw. He can't really get the pawns going. Yeah, rook f4 maybe, I don't know. Rook f8. The thing is, his king will get in check here, so something like this is not working. So f3 would have been smart, and rook d3, and I don't see any problems at all. To be honest, something like this, you just follow the pawn, and it's a draw. And of course, you can probably take this one. But something like this is just easy draw, right? This is I don't remember if the Lucena or Philidor position, but you can look it up. Instead, I played this move, which makes it a little bit more dodgy because of this move, and he gets all the pawns. Well, here, of course, again, take queen rook e5, check is good. Queen rook e4, and of course I don't have this move due to this move, which is a big problem. So I have to go for the passive line here, and he gets here. But I have this move now, and taking away this square, and he moves forward and go here, and here I made a horrible mistake. After this, it's actually a very easy draw. I just go down here, move the rook, and I will have plenty of checks and so on. He cannot get these pawns going. I will win the f pawn whenever there is any kind of trouble. So very bad. I'm very sad this happened. It's King f6, and we would have won the match. Instead, I played King e6, allowing this move. And I was just, no, you didn't do this, Sune. And so now it's just finished. And okay, just to show this for maybe players who don't know this, you always go as far you can with the king, and here I'm in Zugzwang. Actually, he's got a tempo to spare. He could also play f3, still winning, but here something like this is of course very easy. And he will not play f4, because then it will not be easy anymore. So he has to probably play something like this. Is the easiest way. And here, if you go f6, then it's a draw again, so you have to go here, getting the position one more time, and after this move wins, and the f-pawn queen. So I had to resign, losing the last game. In the last game, I did actually play a draw with Rasek. We had a repetition of moves, and I thought that was the good way to go. Unfortunately, the team lost again, so we were almost relegated. And Hamburg has been in their top Bundesliga forever. It's a very nice club, the biggest club in Germany, with a lot of nice people. So we've been really sad to see them go down. They didn't go down. Mülheim came to the rescue, and in a bad ending, Black managed to hold, and they were not relegated. Anyway, this was GM Talks with a rather personal video. I hope you enjoyed this one. There was a lot of openings and endings and middle games and so on. Thank you for